Some of the early TrackMan data I recorded when we were getting Rishy to hit distances of total 60, total 70 and total 80. So the purple ones here we're going for a total of 60, and for her that's carrying into the low 50s, ball finishing around the 60s. So we can see here with the purples, as I kind of click through them, that the speed number which I like to look at here that I've circled fluctuates quite a bit, from sort of low 50s to mid 50s. She'd struggled to find her range a little bit here, and that was sort of something that was a bit of a concern. As we went into the next bracket here, trying to carry at 60 to finish roughly 70, she did a really nice job here. And again, as I click through the different numbers, you can see the speed's a lot more consistent, and the overall carry and total was pretty solid, 62 carry and getting up pretty close to 70 there. So she had a pretty good feel there. And the one she was most comfortable with was the 70 to 80, getting carries sort of around the mid 70s and finishing high 70s. And again, the speed was fairly consistent, up around sort of 66, 67. So the main things we really wanted to focus on were this range of carry 50, low 50s to finish 60, but most importantly just to set kind of a system around something that she could practice and then ultimately take to the course, which we'll see at the end of this video. So this video is just going to be a very brief overview of some of the technical changes that I worked on with Rishy during this couple of days we spent together. The left screen was on day one, and we'd worked and spoken about her wrist angles before, so I introduced the hanger just to give her a sense of what I wanted her wrist to be doing. As I go through the video here, we're going to see that the key area of focus was really the club face and the left arm and club path, and how those were kind of tied in together. If I take her back on the left screen here, she's got a 55-degree wedge. She's hitting a shot of about maybe 50 to 60 yards, moves back pretty well. As she comes down, one of the things that you'll notice is that her left wrist starts to get into an early cupping move or extended move. The club face starts to lay down and the face starts to get quite open here. So for me, I like to see the club tracing through the right forearm at this stage, and you can see it kind of passes the right forearm but keeps kind of falling underneath and doesn't really come back around. If we look on the right screen, this was after about a day and a half of doing some work. Again, about the same swing length, trying to hit about the same distance. I've got a shaft angle back behind her just to give us some guidance of where I want the club head to be moving. But the key area here as she comes down is trying to get her, I'll just stop it back here, trying to get her left arm moving more out and away from her, a lot more in front of her body. So it's probably only angled across her chest here, maybe 20 degrees or so. Just draw a reference line there. Here we probably see it angled in maybe 45 degrees. So it's quite a significant difference there. And we can also start to see a little bit of a change in the face. As I tap her down here, as we bring these down together, we start to see the club staying a little bit more in front of her on the right screen. And we can also see that the club face there is much, much squarer. It's fractionally open, but given that we just did a couple of days here, I was pretty happy with that. And she definitely started to get a lot more control of her short pitch shots. One of the things I mentioned in the TrackMan results is she really struggled with her 50-yard shots and struggled to kind of manage the speed of the club head. It definitely helped once she gained a little bit more control of her wrist angles and ultimately the club face. I didn't really tell her much else. I just placed the shaft back there to get her left arm to come down in front. We did a lot of work with the hanger to give the feeling of closing the face down, which you'll see in the upcoming video. And the rest was really working mostly on distance control. You can see there that ball on the left screen starts quite a bit to the right, and that's another guideline that I gave her in a later video, which was placing a shaft out in front of the target line, so she could see when she's practicing if the ball's starting too far to the right. So following videos are going to be me taking her through the 50, 60, 70 yard combine that I've set up, which is a 5-ball test, which gives a rating out of 100 for where the ball finishes. And we also went through some very specific ways that she could reference those with swing length, the speed that she's swinging the club, and also how far she was gripping down or up the shaft.
Your talking made me get scared.
Ready?
Where's this for?
Just for me, just for alignment. Just do a little practice thing. I'm going to come down in front of that. Show me the downswing rehearsal again. So I've got the club shaft tipping over and the face closing down sooner. That's it. Dangerous. So as I look from behind there, that ball started just over that yellow stick, maybe a hair left of it. And that's a good reference, because if it starts to the right, then it means that the face is coming like too open in the downswing. Good to go. I'll turn this around so you can see it. 5 of each.
Carry, 56.4 yards. Score, 52.
Nice low trajectory there. A few.
Carry, 53.9 yards. Score,
I do.
72. Carry, 49.0 yards. Score, 97.
Nice. Really nice sound there.
Carry, 53.7 yards. Score, 77. Carry, 64.0 yards. Score, 67.
Strike there.
Carry, 64.3 yards.
Have you got a
Score,
sense?
74.
Have you got a sense after you hit it how far it's going to be traveling? Mm-hmm.
Carry, 59.5 yards. Score, 98.
Bang. Down the pipe, a little deep maybe.
Carry 64.5 yards. Score 73.
Okay. Got that overall at 78.5. How was that? Oh, you smoked it.
Carry 59.8 yards. Score 100. Next target. Carry 70
Okay, we're
yards.
improving. Last round, 70 carry.
Carry 70.7 yards.
Nice.
Score
But the hanger work
99.
and the control of the wrist definitely helps with the shorter ones.
Carry 67.1 yards. Score 87. Carry 68.9 yards.
Nice.
Score 97.
Pretty tight.
Carry 67.3 yards.
Last one.
Score 83.
And just a little bit. Big improvement there. Overall, scored in the 80s. We should be
Carry
a little bit better than 11.
69.0 yards. Score 85.
Very solid. Okay, so
Still needs to work on
does the wrist feel a bit more stable than normal?
a little bit.
Okay.
Not too much, a little bit.
So overall, the scores were 50 was 79. That's quite high for you because that was way off before. 60 was 82. They were about the same. And 70 was the strongest, which I was kind of expect that. But one thing I would say is if you look at the speed, it's sort of 48, 50, 50, 51, 54. Got a little faster than that one, and that's where I think your carry was a little too far. And in the 60s, it was actually quite consistent as well. So 55, 56, 54, 55, and then again one a little too much speed, and that one was a little off as well. And the last one I'm going to expect these will be, whoa, that's crazy actually. 59.9, 59.4, 58.5, 59.2, almost identical. So you're very, very sharp on that one. So speed's definitely an important element, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's good.
I just need to learn how to control it more. So it's gonna.
Agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just practice, like getting your feel up.
Yeah.
I would say what we spoke about before, which was knowing how to change, what your feel is to change, is a good baseline.
I want you to measure it, give me the distance.
57.
Okay, so it's perfect. So we had on the range 52 to about 58.
Yeah.
We had medium grip, medium speed, and shoulder swing. Whoop. Nice. Pretty tight. What's it saying?
That's 52.
Really?
Yeah. 50?
Yep.
me it says 74.
Like 76 seconds.
Okay. So we've got what, 63 to 70. We've got medium grip, medium speed, and a full swing. How was the contact?
Not bad.
Not bad, just came out a little short and a little bit left, but would we say that's about 12 feet? Almost a pass? Yeah. Pitched right here, just came out a little bit short, but it kicked a bit off the downslope, so got a little bit of help there.